Police launch investigation following killing of a chairman of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria in Kwara State. On the foreign scene, Syria's leader calls for peace after hundreds of civilians are killed in clashes. Good evening, this is News at 7 on Western Spring Television. My name is Okwayemuni. The political crisis in Rivers State took a new turn today as Governor Siminalayi Fubara invited the Amawule-led members of the State House of Assembly to a meeting. This is according to a letter issued by the Secretary to the State Government, Tami Danagogo, which was addressed to the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Martin Amawule. Dr. Danagogo stated that the meeting scheduled for tomorrow became necessary following the Governor's receipt of a certified true copy of a Supreme Court judgment. The letter stated that discussions would focus on providing a space for the lawmakers loyal to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, to hold their sittings as well as a presentation of a 2025 budget, among other matters. It comes days after Governor Fubara assured the people of the state that his administration will implement the Supreme Court's verdict after carefully reviewing its certified true copy. The Apex Court had declared the local government election conducted in the state on October 5, 2024 as invalid and dismissed the cross-appeal filed by Governor Fubara challenging the validity of the House of Assembly presided over by Mr. Amawule as a Speaker. In dismissing the appeal, the court ordered Mr. Amawule to resume sitting immediately with other elected members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. The People's Democratic Party has again postponed its National Executive Committee meeting, rescheduling it for May 15, 2025. In a statement, the PDP's National Secretary, Sunday Udeokoye, said the meeting, originally slated for March 13, was delayed due to pending zonal, state, local government, and ward congresses, as well as the need for further consultations. This marks the fifth time the PDP has rescheduled its 99th NEC meeting, further deepening internal divisions within the party. The crisis within the party has intensified since Umar Damagum assumed office as acting national chairman following the court's removal of Senator Iyorchia Ayu, with growing calls for his resignation. Elsewhere, Amnesty International has called on stakeholders to work towards ending the rising cases of femicide in the country. Femicide is killing of a woman or girl, particularly by men, on account of her gender. At a street awareness and walk organized to commemorate International Women's Day, Amnesty International Nigeria Supporters Group in Osun State urged stakeholders to protect women from femicide and other forms of abuses and violence. The Osun State coordinator of the group, Joshua Oyebode, while speaking during the work, noted the increasingly hostile environment women in the country have had to contend with, adding that in 2024 alone, about 149 women were murdered in Nigeria. On the spot, Chairman National Youth Council of Nigeria, Osun Chapter, Oluwasegun Akimbode, said the wrongful killing of women in the country must be stopped by the relevant authorities. Similarly, Omowumi Akombi, a member of a non-governmental organization, Teams Foundation, said killing a woman could be synonymous to killing a nation, while a core member, Michael Adewale, advocated for more freedoms for women in society. The United Nations International Women's Day is celebrated across the globe every March 8 to raise awareness about issues affecting women.
I'm not the only one being killed, but we realize there is a certain tendency towards women being killed more, and that is where femicide comes in. For a fact, Section 33 of the Nigerian Constitution guarantees the right to life of every Nigerian citizen. Unfortunately, we have the social menace of femicide, and femicide is simply the killing of women, ladies or girls, just on the very fact that they are women, ladies or girls. So what we are doing this morning is to bring awareness to a social concern, an issue of social concern. For instance, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes estimated that 140 women are killed globally every day due to femicide. Also, a statistics released by a prominent organization in Nigeria last year estimated that 149 women were killed in Nigeria last year, 2024, due to femicide. So what we are doing this morning at the capital city of Osun State, Osogbo, is to bring awareness to what femicide entails, to ensure that people on the streets, passers-by, they are aware of this menace. And even more importantly, we intend to draw an awareness to the role of each citizen towards curbing the social menace of femicide.
To lend our voice, to speak out to notable people and get people to be aware the rampant increment in femicide across the globe, and which is also peculiar to Nigeria. That we want to lend our voice, and we want people to know that wrongful killing, harassment of women is wrong, and that is the purpose of our gathering today.
The rate of femicide is on an increase in the country nowadays. Femicide is a type of gender-based violence, and we know that there are all other forms of gender-based violence, including sexual violence and domestic violence. But then statistics have it that in January alone, about 13 women were killed, meaning that this is a social menace that has been on the increase. And so we need the government to step in and come into action so that we can bring an end to this menace in the country. Women are essential tools in the country. We are needed to empower the nation. And so killing a woman is killing a nation.
Our role as a NYSC member, Servicom and Gender Vanguard, include with our name, you see that we inculcated gender into it because one of our main objectives is to fight and advocate for ladies, women, to give them freedom in the society. So in our role, we have been going around before now to create awareness to people that gender balancing, to create awareness about gender balancing.
In the meantime, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has called on Senate President Godswill Akpabio to immediately reverse the suspension of Senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. In an open letter, SERAP described it as patently unlawful and a violation of a right to freedom of expression. Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan was suspended for 6 months last week following allegations of speaking without permission and refusing to occupy a new seat in the Senate chamber. Her salary and allowances have also been withheld for the duration of a suspension, and she has been barred from identifying herself as a senator. As the world celebrated International Women's Day on Saturday, some women have lamented the lack of support from their spouses in choosing family planning methods. Statistics show that 21% of married women access the family plans in Nigeria. In this report, Lydia Adebayo looks at people's experiences and experts' perspective.
Lots of myths and fears surround the use of family planning among men and women in Nigeria. Some of them include the fear of gaining weight, excessive bleeding, irregular cycle among women, amongst others. These fears have been attributed to the lower prevalence rate of women accessing family planning methods in Nigeria, although a report from the World Health Organization (WHO) says the number of women desiring to use family planning across the world has increased to nearly 1.1 billion in the past 2 decades. Nigeria still records a 21% prevalence rate amongst married women in 2023. Speaking about their experience, Mrs. Barakat Omikunle says she is not interested because of the possible side effects and stigma.
ṣé ọkọ mi kò kí n sábà gbélé so èmi náà mo ṣe o kí wàá nìyẹn fẹ́ ṣe sí nǹkan tí èèyàn ti máa ṣe tó máa disturb èèyàn at the end of the day ìyẹn lè ṣe tó máa ń máa sọ pé nítorí pé bóyá èèyàn ò rọkùnrin bóyá nítorí ẹ̀ ló jẹ́ kí nǹkan máa ṣe èèyàn àbí pé nǹkan kan yẹn so ní tèmi ṣe decide lọ́kàn nìyẹn tèmi ṣe ń tèmi.
Addressing the fears and myths, the Deputy Director of Nursing Service and Family Planning Consultant at Uni Osun Teaching Hospital, Mrs. Olushola Shangolade, spoke on available measures to curb the side effects. She also emphasized the benefits of child spacing, especially for women's reproductive systems.
To allay, if a woman comes, when they come for counseling, I will educate my clients. This injectable that you want to go on it, because they need to know the side effects before they go into it. It can cause irregularity in menses. The irregularity in menses may be that you are not doing your menstruation, or it might be much. If you are not doing your menstruation, there is no cause for alarm. It doesn't affect your health negatively. One should be able to give birth. One should give birth to the number of children one can take care of. Another thing why we should, women particularly, should go for the option of family planning is that artificial twins, so that they will not give birth to artificial twins. If you give birth this year, your child is not up to a year, you have taken in again. You know, definitely you have artificial twins, and it will be a burden on that woman. Pregnancy itself is stress. It's very, very stressful for a woman. So it's really good for a woman to have recovered from stress of pregnancy, one pregnancy, before she gets another one. So at least, so there should be at least space of at least 2 years between one child and another.
Meanwhile, Mrs. Motunraya Abokede said the economic situation of the country pushed her into seeking contraceptives, while Mr. Kelvin Bassi, on his part, believes family planning affords one the luxury of giving children proper care.
About the situation of things, nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ níta nísìn, èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ fi plan sí live ẹ̀. So that's why tí mo fi ṣe. So wọ́n dẹ̀ ní tí n bá fẹ́ bímọ, mo lè yọ. So kò dé affect ìgbà tí mo bí ta lákọ̀ọ́kọ́, mo lọ ṣe. So ìgbà tí mo dẹ̀ tún need láti bí ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì, mo lọ yọ.
To the ones that really don't have a good job, so they can train the ones they have. Because bearing children up and down these days is not really important. What is important is how you train your children.
Sharing her experience, Mrs. Adeshina said opting for family planning did not affect intimacy with her spouse, but helps prevent unwanted pregnancy.
So mi ní any problem. Àwọn obìnrin tó bá fẹ́ ṣe kàn ṣe ó wúlò dáa fún oyún téyìn ò expect.
However, there is also the issue of disinterest among men, as some women who spoke anonymously with this correspondent lament how they had to secretly visit hospitals to access family planning. With this, Mrs. Shongolade urged men to be more forthcoming, noting that family planning is not just a woman's business and listed methods available for men.
When we say family planning, it's not about women alone. But what happens is that the device, the method that are available presently are mainly for women. But it has to be the decision between the husband and the wife. The woman alone cannot take the decision. But however, the men too, they are always reluctant when it comes to them to, to take their own, the condom of a thing. Because, I said the other time, it decreases sexual satisfaction. So most men doesn't like it. And most women too doesn't like condom. You understand? That is aside. But I talk about vasectomy the other time. Most men doesn't want it. They are emiko. Well, so we want to appeal to our men. Vasectomy is both for the family, the enjoyment, the advantage is both for the family. So the burden should not rest only on we women. So for those that have completed their family, their husbands too can come for vasectomy.
Some of the family planning methods available in Nigeria include intrauterine contraceptive device, IUD, injectables, condoms for both male and female, implants, contraceptive pills, and sterilization, popularly known as vasectomy. Going forward, it is expected that more men become more open to the idea of family planning and that more support be shown to women as they go through the process. Lydia Adegbaju, Western Spring Television News.
To security, police authorities in Adamawa State have arrested a 34-year-old church member for the kidnap of 2 Catholic priests. Spokesman of the Adamawa State Police Command, Sulaiman Yahaya Nguroje, said the victims were rescued and police operatives recovered a locally fabricated gun, a mobile phone, and a SIM card. According to the command spokesman, the suspect was apprehended in a criminal hideout in Guedamalam village, a border community between Numan and Demsa local government areas of Adamawa State. The priests, Abraham Saman and Matthew David Dusam of the Catholic Diocese of Yola and Jalingo, were found tied up by the suspect. SP Nguroje added that no ransom was paid to secure the release of the 2 victims and that the victims are receiving medical attention while the suspect has been taken into custody for further discreet investigations and prosecution. The governor of Benue State, Asin Dalia, has condemned the recent attacks in Path, particularly in Dikko and Imande, Beriwa communities in Katsina Ala local government area of the state. Armed men suspected to be Fulani herdsmen attacked the communities on Saturday, killing an unspecified number of villagers. Reacting, Governor Alia, in a statement issued by his media aide, Tasso Kula, expressed his condolences to the families of the casualties and the entire communities. According to him, the attack is a painful reminder of the challenges his administration encounters in the journey for peace and security in the state. The governor condemned the barbaric action in strongest terms, reassuring the people of the state that those responsible will be brought to justice. Governor Ali stated that in response to this tragedy, his government has deployed security forces to the affected localities and is implementing enhanced security measures to track the attackers and prevent further incidents. The Kwara State Police Command has launched an investigation into the killing of the chairman of the Miyetti Alakatu Breeders Association of Nigeria in the state, Alhaji Idris Abubakar. Abubakar was reportedly shot dead by unidentified gunmen around 10 p.m. on Saturday in front of his residence at Okeoshe, Ilorin East local government area. It was gathered that the assailants ambushed him and shot him at close range before fleeing the scene, leaving him in a pool of blood. In a statement on Sunday, the state police spokesman, Adetun Ejiri confirmed the incident, stating that detectives recovered 5 expended 7.62 mm shells from the scene and his remains had been deposited at University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital mortuary. Here in the southwest, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun has approved the recruitment of 500 additional operatives into the state security network, also known as Amotekun Corps, in the move to enhance security network across the state. According to a statement by the Corps' commander, Amotekun Networks, Brigadier General Alade Adediba, retired. The recruitment drive, set to begin on Monday, March 10, 2025, comes just 2 months after the passing out parade of 690 newly trained operatives. He said the move reflected the government's unwavering commitment to enhancing security measures for residents of the state. The Amotekun Corps commander described the recruitment as a major step towards strengthening the operational capacity of the Amotekun Corps and ensuring that communities across Ogun State enjoy better protection. In other news, the Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Akim Owade, has clarified misconceptions surrounding the imposed curfew during the 21-day traditional rites in the ancient town. He also addressed concerns over the choice of words in the earlier statement issued on the matter. In a statement by his chief of staff, Rotimi Oshuntola, the monarch explained that the wording of the initial announcement was not intended to demean practitioners of any religion. He stated that the monarch had directed that the issue of a curfew be disregarded. The management of the Telegraph newspapers, led by its managing director, Ayodele Aminu, today presented an award of the best governor in the health sector to Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke for his rehabilitation and upgrading of over 200 primary health care centers, Imola medical outreach, and other good governance deliveries. A statement by the spokesperson to the governor, Olaole Rashid, said while presenting the award, Mr. Aminu said the good performance of Governor Adeleke warranted the award, particularly for the health sector. Responding, Governor Adeleke expressed appreciation for the award, describing it as an incentive for him to do more, not just within the health sector, but across critical areas of a state's economy. He added that his administration has upgraded over 200 primary health care centers with solar power and water supply, alongside rehabilitation of the structures. Elsewhere, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has destroyed counterfeit drugs at Moniya dump site in Akinyele local government area of Oyo State. NAFDAC Director General Professor Muyisola Adeyeye said the counterfeit drugs worth 100 billion naira were confiscated from pharmaceutical drug marketers in Idumota Market, Lagos. She noted that the step became necessary to prevent the reintroduction of expired, fake, substandard and falsified drugs into circulation. Professor Adeyes, who was represented by NAFDAC Director of Narcotics and Controlled Substances, Yeduni Adenuga, said NAFDAC's recent enforcement activities at the Dumota, Onitsha, Ariaria, and Ezeuku open drug markets was mind-boggling. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency uncovered a shipment of cannabis-infused candies intended for sale in a children's store in Lagos. The agency spokesperson, Femi Babafemi, revealed these in a post today on X, accompanied by photos. Mr. Babafemi revealed that the candies, which were imported and branded as sweet treats for children, were found to contain a potent strain of cannabis, raising serious concerns about the safety of children's snacks. He also urged parents to be vigilant in monitoring their children's snacks. You're watching news at 7 on Western Spring Television. Still to come, President Tinubu approves adoption of Tai Sholari University of Education, Ogun State, as a federal university. We'll bring you more for Barra to meet with pro-Wike lawmakers following Supreme Court judgment. In Adamawa State, police arrest church member for alleged kidnap of 2 Catholic priests. Police launch investigation following killing of a chairman of Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria in Kwara State. On the foreign scene, Syria's leader calls for peace after hundreds of civilians are killed in clashes. The Kwara State government has directed all residents to register with the State Residence Registration Agency to enhance security and economic planning. In a statement, the press secretary to the agency, Abdullahi Baba, said Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak has mandated registration, which will provide residents with a state security identification number and card. The state recently captured all government workers and pensioners in its database, highlighting progress in efforts to build a credible residents register. President Bola Tinubu has approved the adoption of Tai Sholari University of Education in Ijagun, Ogun State, as a federal university. The announcement was made in a statement on Sunday, signed by Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onuga. Established by the Ogun State government in 2005, the SWED holds the distinction of being Nigeria's first specialized university of education. President Tinubu expressed gratitude to Ogun State government for inviting the federal government to take over one of the state's best educational assets, adding that the move honors the legacies of Chief Obafemi Awolowo and Dr.